These are 5 easy to learn binds by 5 of some of the best pro players. First up, we're going to learn the guy right over the throw hand bind. It looks like this. So this is a really stylish bind, like everything that Guy Wright does, and if you're not familiar with any of his tricks, make sure after you learn this bind, you go search for Guy Wright Yo-Yo and watch as many videos as you can find. He's super good and super influential with my style, and a lot of people that probably don't even know it nowadays. So first you're going to throw a trapeze, and then after you dismount, you're going to bring the yo-yo up and underneath of your non-throw hand, like so, and then remounting it onto your middle finger like that. Once your yo-yo is mounted onto your middle finger, you're going to bring your throw hand, and I like to use my index finger and middle finger. If you watch Guy in some videos, sometimes he'll use like his whole hand, or he might just use like one finger sometimes even. Or if he does it front style, he'll use like a whole hand like that. So I like to use 2 fingers, and for this example, we're just going to use 2 fingers also. So again, you're going to dismount your trapeze, remount the yo-yo underneath of your middle finger on your non-throw hand, take your index finger and middle finger on your throw hand and point them towards you like so. Then what you're going to do, taking your non-throw hand, you're going to start to swing your yo-yo up and swing it up and underneath of these fingers that are placed on your throw hand like so. And I'm just pausing for sake of the video. So again, like I mentioned, you'll see all this string that is on the one side of your hand. So as you're making this swinging motion, you're going to let go of that string, and that's actually what binds and brings the yo-yo back up to your hand. So with this bind, it actually works really well too for if you don't have a lot of spin time left, like if you barely have any spin time left, once you're binding the yo-yo. As you'll see, once I set the yo-yo up in position, I have all this string that's actually working to bind the yo-yo. Next up, we're learning the Paul Escolar Chopsticks bind. It looks like this. And Paul Escolar is a super innovative yo-yo player. He created Kamikaze and Suicide and tons of other awesome yo-yo tricks. Again, super influential, and if you don't know him, make sure you go YouTube Paul Escolar yo-yo after you watch this video. So for this bind, you're going to throw a trapeze and then mount the yo-yo in a chopsticks mount. And you don't have to do this part, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to dismount the yo-yo off of the string that's attached to my throw hand. So you're still in this chopsticks mount, but you're just mainly focusing on this bit of string that's attached to your non-throw hand thumb. So to make this bind work, what we're going to do is using our non-throw hand, you're going to motion the yo-yo upward like this. And then what ends up happening is once you make your chopsticks, and like again, I mentioned this bit of string that's over your non-throw hand thumb, this is actually going to bind over top of your yo-yo like this as you throw the yo-yo up, and then that rolls into the yo-yo gap. It creates the bind like I was just saying, but it looks really nice if you just do it all in succession like this, if you just get into a chopsticks and then throw it straight up. That's where the really smooth fluidity of this trick kicks in, and it just looks really awesome if you're like at the end of a chopsticks combo and then you just decide to throw it up. It's like a secret almost at the end of the trick. So this is the Vashek one-handed bind. It looks like this. Vashek is a multi-time Czech national yo-yo champion, as well as the first modern European yo-yo champion. And he runs the Slušný yo-yo store, which carries recessed yo-yos, as well as the Slušný yo-yo channel, which has really cool content. I'm going to post a link down in the bio so you guys can check that out. So for this trick, what you're going to do is throw a trapeze, and as you're dismounting your yo-yo, what I'm going to do is bring it close to the string that's connected to my throw hand. Then I'm going to gently nudge it onto this string, and then as I'm mounting it onto the string, I'm going to lower it over top and on the outside of my free hand. So the side of my free hand that's the furthest away from my body. And then as you'll see, I'm just kind of gently lowering it into position there. So after you have your yo-yo mounted, make sure that your arms are uncrossed. You're going to take this string that is around your non-throw hand middle finger and twist it one time counterclockwise around all those strings that are cradling the yo-yo around your throw hand here. So one time counterclockwise. It actually doesn't matter if you twist it clockwise or counterclockwise. I just feel like it flows better for the trick if you do it that way. So one turn counterclockwise like so. If you'll notice, I spread my throw hand apart like this. I'll drop the string off of my non-throw hand middle finger. I start spreading my throw hand, and then that will cause this string to bind in the yo-yo gap while I spread my hand. But then also, as I'm spreading my hand, it opens it and then allows my yo-yo to be caught. So once again, all together it looks like this. This is called the European redirect bind. I don't really know the player origin of this bind. I just have seen a lot of pro players from Europe in the past do it, and it looks like this. So it's pretty easy bind. What you're going to do is after you throw a trapeze, you're going to hop the yo-yo off and into the front of your throw hand, like so. And then you're going to redirect the yo-yo back towards your non-throw hand, like that. But as you're redirecting it, instead of catching it on top of the trapeze, you're actually going to catch it underneath of the trapeze like that, and then you just bind afterwards. So it seems pretty simple, but it actually flows really nicely into like the guy bind, or if you do that and then you can throw it into a sky bind, or a lot of people now try to get really fancy with it and then they'll do like a back and forth bind like that. So there's lots of cool variations you can learn from that one simple redirection. This is the Grant Johnson redirect bind, and it looks like this. So this bind is very similar to the slap bind that I taught in the 5 easy binds video. So if you haven't watched that, I'll put that down in the bio. Make sure you go peep that video first. Learn how to do the slap bind. Oh my gosh, learn how to do the slap bind, because that's absolutely necessary to learn how to do this bind. So you're going to whip the string with your throw hand just like I was doing, but instead of slapping the string, what you're going to do is just grab this whole loop with your non-throw hand, okay? And then very similar positioning though as the slap bind. So instead of slapping the slack over, again, you're going to grab it, but you are going to aim that loop directly on top of the yo-yo like so. Because what you're going to do after you grab that loop is using that length of string that you've now created after you grab the loop. There will be a length of string created between your throw hand and non-throw hand. It's like a little trapeze. So what you're going to do using that length of string is kind of push down into the yo-yo like that. It'll bounce around in a circle, okay, off the bottom of the trapeze. And then you'll bounce that on top of the trapeze. And then once you've bounced it onto the trapeze, you bounce it in the other direction, redirecting it off of the trapeze. Then you're going to aim the yo-yo directly back up into that same segment of string we were talking about in the beginning. And then as soon as you see the yo-yo lining up with that string, you're going to release this loop of slack that you have in your non-throw hand like so, and then it will bind the yo-yo up. So all together, it looks like this. Those were 5 easy pro player binds. And please make sure you guys make some suggestions in the comments about other tricks you'd like to see. I really want to know what you guys want to learn. So again, comment below with the stuff that you guys want to learn. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.